Hello and welcome to Brick Story Time. I'm your host, Johnny Cat Builder, aka Professor Brickmaker, aka the Brick Whisperer, or whatever other name I've used in the past, Brick Brigade. We're going to talk today about the flying wing. Fantastic, right? The flying wing. The wing that flies, right? So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the flying wing, and we'll do it. Okay. Close the book. So what we'll be doing today is I'm going to interview myself, right? I'm going to ask myself something, and hopefully myself will answer appropriately. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Let's do it. Now, first of all, I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? I want them answered immediately. Who's your daddy, and what does he do? Yeah? No? Wrong? The other? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's the wrong questions. The questions are, why did you make the flying wing, and how did you do it? Okay, let's get into it. So thank you for that very kind introduction. I'll do my best to answer those questions that have been posed. So let's get right into it. The flying wing, it is. I can't believe it. I'm seeing it. Flying wing is finished, more or less. I have a couple parts in my prototype that probably need to be changed, but here it is in all its glory. So first thing I want to talk about is how amazing the printed items are that they added, and the 3D printed parts. They printed this piece on the front here. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. If I can't get it to work by holding it up, yeah, that works pretty well. You can see that piece that they designed for the front, right? And then they also designed this piece for the turret, right? Where Marion sits. And we're going to show you how she goes in there in just a second. Isn't that cool? I'll do the top view so you can kind of see that custom piece. Now that's just going the extra, 9 yards, extra mile to complete the look of I think it was a pretty cool flying wing to begin with, but they took it from 10 to 11. Can we say that? Okay. From 9 to 10, 9.7 to 9.9999. Anyway, so those are fantastic, right? Now, when you see these have to be stickers on here because there's a lot of parts and it doesn't make sense to try to print this entire section on both sides. So you do get a set of stickers. These are not them. These are ones that I printed myself. I didn't have the stickers available. So I just put them on here so you can kind of see how they look. There's two different sets for the tail here, for the fins. This one, and then you can see if I turn the wing around, this is the other type that you can put on. So you get two sets of these, so you can use either or. Those go on the tail fins. They have this lovely little accent piece here, which is where Indiana Jones would shoot the cockpit open so Marion can get out. Now remember, the flames are approaching. Oh no, we have to get Marion out of the plane before, right? Okay, so that's fantastic. Now we also put, you can see on the front here, we put these nice machine gun pieces here. So this is a fighter plane as well as a little cargo plane, right? So that's great. So the next thing I want to talk about is the minifigures it comes with, right? It comes with these lovely minifigures. You've got the pilot here. Then you've got the tough guy that Indiana Jones fights with, right? Loves to fight. Marion, right here, in her lovely dress. And Boba Fett. Hold on one second. Yeah? No? Wrong? No Boba Fett? Okay, I'll let him know. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Okay, bye. Okay, sorry about that. Let's remove this. Does not come with Boba Fett. I apologize for that. You get the pizza with only these 3 toppings on it. So, anyways, and there's the backside of those figures. Fantastic print jobs. I mean, they just keep taking it up and up and up. Quality just keeps getting better and better. I mean, the quality is fantastic, but, it's just fantastic. Let's just leave it there. It's fantastic. Okay, so what else can we talk about the flying wing? The flying wing does not actually fly. I suppose you could throw it, but that would be sad, right? So let's not, well, it probably while I'm sleeping, it flies around the room, I mean, who knows, right? All right, so let's talk about the getting Marion and the pilot into the cockpit. So these pieces come off very easily. You just pull these right off. Boom. Took a little white piece with me because I don't have the proper correct piece. It wouldn't come off normally. Move that. We can take the little pilot here. Remove his gun just to keep that out of the way. And then we put him in his little seat. Come on, I'm going to fly the plane now. Let's go. I'm hungry. I want my dinner. Okay, so put that back and put that back, and easy peasy. Pilot goes in there really easily. Or Marion, of course, goes in there at some point and then travels to the back to operate the turret so she can shoot at the bad guys. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Marion. How does she get in? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to push her legs all the way forward, right? So if she sits flat, she'll be a tiny bit forward. Her arms can more or less stay where they are, maybe a little bit forward. And then we're going to put her right inside. Now we've already taken off the cover, right? The cover, which is goes over a dome piece, and then has this piece. We're going to remove this actually and put this on first, right? So let's put that on first over Marion's head. So that's on in place. And then we'll take the dome canopy piece, right? With the extra piece attached here, the 3D printed part. And then we're going to put that so these lines are forward and back, right? So let's put that there. I'm not sure if I have it backwards or forwards, but anyway, so that's Marion in the cockpit. And then, of course, she's got these little machine guns attached, which I have upside down, of course. Why wouldn't I? So let's turn those the right way. Turn them the right way. Okay. And I broke this off. We'll put this back. If I didn't constantly break things, it wouldn't be me. Okay, so we'll show that up close. So what it looks like. So we put Marion in with her legs all the way forward. She's leaning forward just a tiny bit there. Then we put this black piece on the black plate with the hole, 4x4 round with hole. And then we put the cover on top. And again, I don't know if it goes this way with the big opening in the front or if it goes this way. I'd have to look at the instructions. So anyways, so there you go. So Marion's in there now. She can control the turret and she can take out the bad guys in the truck. Those meanies. Okay. Meanies, really good. Okay, so we don't have Indiana Jones in this set, but that's okay because Indiana Jones is available as a minifigure. Of course, there's that fantastic, the first Saturday afternoon matinee set that they did with the truck and Indiana Jones and the staff car and the chase scene, da-da-da-da-da. So he's in there with the relic crate. Now, okay, so let's talk about the payload that we can put in this wonderful plane. Actually, before I do that, let's talk about oops, I broke it. I'm sure it was pre-broken. So let's just talk about the propellers really quickly. So there's two propellers on the back. Why do I keep breaking it? So when you spin it, so when you put something like this accent piece here, this little white plate, kind of see it from the side here. On these, when you spin it quickly, it makes a nice white ring, and it really looks cool. When you have a little accent piece on the ends of the propellers, it's a really nice effect. You can kind of see what's happening there. So anyways, so that's really, really cool. And I'll just talk about, briefly before we talk about putting the payload in, about the structure of the plane. I mean, this plane, the wings, if you notice, the wings go up, they come back down. Not only that, the wings also go back from the front of the plane, go back towards the rear of the plane at an angle, which, each one of those things adds complexity to what you're having to do. So when it came to actually creating supports for the plane, we had to be extra careful to make sure, because there's a lot of stress on the wings, that when you turn it upside down, you don't have any problems and it's nice and strong. Okay, so I fixed that issue. So normally it sticks up a little like this. You can kind of see there, it's just kind of sticking up over the top. So I could easily grab, sorry, do it from the other side. I can easily grab these and put them open. Okay, so, and this plane is pretty compact, right? It's supposed to in real life, it was, a regular, normal plane. It would have fairly thin walls that made out of aluminum or metal, some kind of metal or something, fabric. So there'd be extra room inside, but because we're using Lego to build this, it limits how much space we have. So I dug out, and you see I still need some parts to finish this off. I got some dark bluish gray here. These are supposed to be white. I dug it out as much as I could. And that's what I call digging out the cargo area. I do the same thing when I used to build tanks or whatever. I kind of make it so it looks good from the outside, and then I go back in and dig out a place for the commander of the tank to go, or the driver in the front of the tank or whatever, the front section. So that's what we did here. We dug it out as best we could. So if you do happen to have the relic crate from the other set, we made it so it'll fit just perfectly in here, right? Just lovely. You got to kind of center it. So I'll have to hold it forward, but I'll hold my finger there so you can kind of see where it goes, right? And then when you push this down, it'll fit just perfectly, like so. So it just fits in there just real. Now, if you remember from the movie, that movie, I might have already mentioned it, but anyways, if you remember that movie, this never makes it into the plane. Now, remember, it's not going to, I believe, if I've heard right, they're going to give you instructions on how to build this, right? So you can actually have one to put in here. You're not going to have printed stuff on it, but it still looks cool regardless. Of course, mine's dark bluish gray because when I build, I grab whatever color is closest to me. That's how I build these days. And I fix all the color stuff if I need to in the CAD program. But anyway, so if you remember, this never makes it into this plane. The plane goes poof, before they can get it in there. And that guy takes it away. Oh, he took my thing. Takes it away, so it never makes it into the plane. Again, I believe, like I said, they give you directions on how to make one of these if you want to put it in there. But why would you? It never makes it in there. Of course, you can create your own alternative storyline if you want. That's up to you. But when it flew in with something. So what did it fly in with? And we created this little idea of a wine barrel and a beer barrel, and it says Steinflug on the front. I can't remember. I think I put some reference in there on what that should say, and I can't remember what it means now. But we can figure that out. I mean, you can use Google. Was ist Steinflug, Google? Yeah, Steinflug is something flying. I can't remember. Anyway, so this can also go inside the cargo area. We made it so it'll fit inside there. And look at that. The cargo doors close around it. Isn't that wonderful? Das ist gut. Yeah. Very good. Very good, Professor. Very good. Okay. Now, of course, the real one doesn't have gray on the bottom. I didn't have the right parts for this, so I just used whatever I had at the moment. I did put the front piece on. Like I said, if you can see it, Steinflug. Maybe I'll take a couple pictures so I can add that. It's hard to see that. Okay. Anyway, so we're just going to, we'll leave that out. We'll close the Bombay, or the doors here, not Bombay doors. And as you see, these wheels all roll. So, and this one turns. So in theory, you can actually get this thing to be pushed along and make a nice little scene where it's doing its thing in the movie, going in a circle and so forth, because you can't aim this a certain direction, right? So I can aim the wheel, and then if it was turning, it would turn like that, right? Yeah, that's exactly what I remember. Okay, so fantastic. So we talked about the propellers, and we talked about the stickers that go on there. Now, I didn't mention there is some little printed parts that are inside here. I'll take a picture of that. There's 3 instrument panels inside, so you get that as well. Like I said, I think the set came out really nicely. So again, we have the flying wing, right, in all its glory. Marianne is in her turret, and the pilot is in there, and this guy is, well, he's just going to go have lunch because, we in our world, we want him to be happy at the end of the thing. So in our world, everything's fine. Now, again, the turret, here we push the turret around a little bit closer. Again, push the turret around so You can't actually, I think I can get it to go all the way around if I just push the turret machine gun straight up. But it's really designed to, go from about here to about here, which for our purposes pretty much takes care of it, right? So she has a ability to take out anybody approaching from this direction, right? Okay. What else? Is there anything else we missed here? We've got the wheels and we got the printed parts on the wing. I didn't mention that. Look how fantastic those are. Now, these 4 pieces go together as a set, but you notice they're not straight across the pieces, so this has to, there's some geometry involved here. There's some math, right? We have to do some math, right? So we got 1 on each end of the wing, which is fantastic, right? And, the finished product is, there's not a ton of printing on here, but there's just enough to make it look like the one that we see in the movie, right? It's pretty darn close to the one we see in the movie. And again, this design, I should talk a little bit more about the design. The wing is in 2 major pieces here, but of course there's a lot of little sub-models in there as well. But, to get the look of this particular wing, the way it goes back and then down, and then there's a couple of, I should mention, there's a couple of flaps. Well, there's so many things here to talk about. Oh my goodness, we need 4 hours for this, okay? Add on. Anyway, so we have some elevators back here, bleep bleep, to make it fun. It's a fun sort of a set to play with. Pretty sturdy. I can turn it upside down without really worrying about any stress. Now, if I'm going to work on the bottom of the plane, I think I even mentioned it somewhere. It's like, well, rest it on something, because you don't want to rest it on these wings, right? They're not made out of iron. So you'll rest something here, like a cup or something, while you work on it. But it's pretty sturdy. So anyway, it's what they call swooshable. Swoosh. Yeah, I'm going into the camera now. We're not going to go on the camera, but we are going to swoosh around a little bit. We're going to look at that. I think I can even hold it like that, right? I can hold it from the wing like that. I'm not going to flop it around because I'm not crazy. But yeah, very swooshable. So look at that, flying in. Oh, incredible. I've had a lot of fun with this. Now, I believe the questions originally were, why did I do it and how did I do it, right? So, why did I do it? I absolutely love this plane. I mean, when I think about it, the plane was only in the movie for a matter of a couple of minutes and then it blew up, right? But how memorable is it? I mean, it's just because it was so different, the design, and I had never seen anything like this before. Of course, sometimes you watch shows on the History Channel and you'll see talk of this experimental plane or that experimental plane. But it just was so cool for them to include a plane of this design. It wasn't just a regular bomber or a cargo plane that would be flying out. It's this, right? Like something from a science fiction movie. So that's why I always love this plane. I wanted to build it. I got some inspiration, and then I'm like, I'm just going to go for it, and then design it the best I could. And of course, like I said, I take it only so far, and then the team at Brickmania picks it up from there and makes it even better. But yeah, so I just loved it. Loved that movie, and loved the design of this particular plane. So how did I do it? Well, again, whenever I build, it's never in a straight line. I build, and then I'll have to go back because maybe this angle is not working correctly. So I'll go back and put this in, and maybe it's not strong enough there. I mean, this plane, because it's so shallow, has to be super strong, right? Because this wing has to not fall off, basically. All right, it has to be swooshable, like we were saying, swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The wing has to not fall off, so the strength here has to be. So when you play with it, when you want to actually do something with it, fly it around the room, or make some kind of scene with it, that it's nice and sturdy. We want it to be nice and sturdy. One of this particular part here, I'll show you right here. You can kind of see this piece is actually attached here, and it goes up here, and it's attached here to a 1x1 with light clip. I think it's a light clip. Anyways, it's pretty strong. This connection is pretty strong. I tried this particular configuration. Like I tried different things here to see what would work, hinge pieces and all kinds of other ways of doing it. I tried maybe 10 different combinations before I found something that actually will give me we wanted the angle to be right? It has to go up at a certain angle, and then it also has to be super strong. So thank you for watching. That's Brick Story Time, the story of the flying wing by your pal. Oh, my hat! Your pal, Professor Brickmaker, old Brick Brigade guy, Giant Cat Builder, the Brick Whisperer. Bricks. The Flying Wing, brought to you by your friendly designer down the street or around the corner, Giant Cat Builder, and of course the incredible team at Brickmania. So enjoy.